Hey everybody, this is Bruce Bishop for ChronicleT.com. We're back once again, week number 6, midway through. How you doing, guys?
Matt, isn't it great to look over there and see the lovely face of Bruce Bishop again? Kristen Bauer did a great job last week. We love Kristen, but boy, as Dorothy said, there's no place like home, and we feel like we're at home now with Bruce Bishop back behind the camera.
I'd agree with that. Walking into the studios here today to see Bruce there was like the sun shining here as fall has begun. Good to have you back, Bruce.
We're starting to show off with a bunch of lies right out of the gate. All right, we're not even going to mess around. We're going right to work today because this is our very special education edition, and some grades coming up a little later on, but not the greatest week for Lorain County High School football.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd give Week 5 an F, but it certainly wasn't the best of weeks for Lorain County teams.
Yeah, without a doubt. Lorain County teams only going 5-11 this week. There weren't many Lorain County matchups, so a lot of those were losses to teams outside of the county. Teams like Firelands coming up short against Fairview this week. We did have some teams stay undefeated. Avon and Amherst remained 2-0. Keystone got their first victory of the season. But for the rest of Lorain County, Oberlin comes to mind. Tough loss to Black River this week. It was just a bad week, a bad Friday night, I guess, of football. It's back to the drawing board for a lot of those teams.
By the way, it's Avon Lake that's 2-0, not Avon.
Pardon me.
Boy, those Avon Lake folks, we don't want to get them all upset at us. But, yeah, 5-11, that certainly means a lot more teams on the losing side of the ledger as far as Week 5 was concerned. Boy, a tough night here in Elyria. Both teams were home. Elyria High got drubbed by Euclid. EC has suddenly hit a rough patch. They've dropped 2 in a row. Valley Forge knocked them out pretty handily. So, yeah, we'll see if some teams can get back on track as we start the second half of the season this week.
All right, well, we've got the vinegar. I guess we better sweeten it up a little bit. Let's look to Orthopedic Associates to bail us out. Let's talk about the plays of the week.
All right.
He's the fortunate one because he gets to go first this week. There were a couple of big plays, but you do indeed have the Orthopedic Associates play of the week.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to start this week. Usually we talk about offense when it comes to plays of the week. This week, I'm actually going the other side on defense. Everyone was talking about that Amherst-Berea Mid-Park game, about 3 minutes left in it, 45-38. Amherst had the lead. Trevor Baczynski, the quarterback for the Titans, drops back. He finds Garrett Wade at the 1-yard line on a slant pass, and boom, in comes Joey Tomorrow, the Amherst Comets, to make the tackle. Again, this was a 4th down play. He makes the tackle at the 1-yard line, preventing Wade from getting into the end zone, forces a turnover on downs. Amherst is able to run out the clock after that, and the Amherst Comets come away with the victory again, 45-38, Tim. I don't know if there's bigger plays. I know some people were a little skeptical that maybe Wade had gotten into the end zone. If you're a Titans fan, that's understandable. But Joey Tomorrow, I mean, he made the officials have to look at that. He made the officials have to make a call, I should say, regardless of what the truth was out there. I wasn't there to see it, but just a tremendous play by Joey Tomorrow.
Indeed, a phenomenal play by Joey. As Mike Passarello told us last week on WEOL, Berea Mid-Park was going to rack up yards, and they did. Over 600 yards in total offense for Berea Mid-Park last Friday night. But as he told us, we're going to have to make a defensive stop at some point, and it was Joey Tomorrow who made that stop at the 1-yard line. That is indeed the play of the week. It's a phenomenal play by Joey.
Yep, so there you have it. That's my Orthopedic Associates play of the week. Joey Tomorrow with the touchdown saving tackle to get the Amherst Comets the victory, 45-38.
And even though Joey Tomorrow's play was indeed the Orthopedic Associates play of the week, I still get to pick one, and I think this is a big play as well. Boy, one of the great rivalries as far as Lorain County High School football is concerned, Matt, Avon and Midview. Now, Midview's having a down year this year, so certainly the game didn't get the hype that it's gotten in years past, but Midview was kind of hanging around. They were down 21-6 at the half. They had the ball to start the third quarter. They went 3 plays and out, and so Midview had to punt. And then Joey Lance with a 97-yard punt return for the Avon Eagles. How about 97 yards on a punt return? I'm not sure Avon head coach Mike Elder wanted Lance to field that punt at the 3-yard line, but he did. 97 yards later, he's in the end zone, and I'm sure that's the play that really broke that game wide open for Avon. They lead it 28-6 at that point. I'm sure that really took the air out of the Midview Middies at that point. So, hey, Mr. Lance, great job. Orthopedic Associates Play of the Week from my vantage point, 97-yard punt return. You mentioned we like to talk about offensive plays. You had a defensive play. I had a special teams play for the Orthopedic Associates Plays of the Week. 2 huge plays in the respective ball games.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, anytime you get a 97-yard punt return, that's going to do something to the other team. Big turnaround moment.
I like that Joey Tomorrow, too. That's another good. We're going to have to do football names. I'm telling you. In a future episode, we're talking good football names.
It's a teammate there of Kennedy Scaglioso.
Go ahead, Tim.
Kennedy Scaglioso.
I'm not quite there yet. Give me some time. We're only halfway through the season.
He's working it. All right, so Dr. Alcorn, let's talk about our good sponsor at LCCC.
Well, you mentioned we kind of have that education theme going this week, and of course, proud to be sponsored in our weekly video blitz by Lorain County Community College. And you see the video that's rolling behind us. It's of the Lorain County Community College Physics Lab, and the Laboratory Science Building at LCCC is a full-service science lab. It's got microbiology, biotechnology, general chemistry, organic chemistry, geology, physics, and anatomy and physiology. When I was at LCC, I didn't take any of those classes. I'm having a hard time pronouncing those classes, but boy, if you're someone who's into science, and obviously you can go through the science curriculum as part of the University Partnership Program, they've got everything over at LCC. So again, the Physics Lab at the LCC Laboratory Sciences Building.
Yeah, it's amazing what they do over there in that physics lab too. Bull and I know had the opportunity to do a show there not too long ago. We met a young girl there who was actually just graduating from high school, getting ready to go to LCCC, but she was doing research, some cancer research, believe it or not. Wow. So I mean, they're doing big things over at Lorain County Community College, and it's because they have facilities like this, instructors like they do. Big things happening in Lorain County.
And by the way, as we shoot the video blitz this week here in late September, I want to let you know you can still register for late start short-term sessions at LCC. Those begin on October 15th and 29th.
All right, let's go sign up for some geology classes.
Wow.
That's rocks, right?
No. Yeah, that's rocks. That's rocks.
I was a broadcasting
Just making sure.
Oh, God. All right, so we're going to do some grading now. We're going to do midterms since we're doing education. I want to see some midterm. We're going to grade on a curve because we're nice. So everybody gets something nice. Let's do some grades.
Well, as far as midterms are concerned, since we're 5 weeks in, I'll start off with the A+. If you're 5-0, that's an A+ grade. So we've got Amherst and Avon Lake, each with 5-0 records. Boy, I couldn't tell you the last time Amherst has been 5-0. They've got a huge showdown game this Friday night. They take on Olmsted Falls. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Amherst is certainly deserving of that A+. Mm-hmm. And the Shoremen also 5-0 on the year. So if you're handing out the midterm, you got to give the A+ to Amherst and Avon Lake.
I think without a doubt, when you're undefeated, how can you not have an A+ at this time? That, of course, would bring us to the A's, I suppose would be the best way to put it, with the 4-1 teams. And Avon, one of those 4-1 teams, close loss earlier in the season to their rivals, Avon Lake. One of those games where, Tim, you get that feeling if they'd played it 10 times, you might have had 5 different winners or 5 different changes in that. And so, of course, Avon has to be there with that A. And then Clearview, the other team. Again, this year they went out, they opened the season against an undefeated Amherst team, a team we're seeing play great football right now. Came up short in it, gave up 30 points, but since then their defense has absolutely dominated teams. They're scoring points. Offensively, they've got a 3-headed monster when it comes to the running back position. So they're doing things right. They've gotten to 4-1 this point of the season. They're getting ready for Stripes play. I think they could be a very scary team when it comes to division play. They get ready to go this weekend into that too. So those are my A teams there. Avon and Clearview at 4-1.
All right, Bruce. Those are our A+ and A teams.
So no B's, C's, and D's? Chickens.
As you said, we're going to be nice.
The bar.
You know what I always used to get on my report card? NI, needs improvement.
A couple needs improvements. Okay.
1 or 2 of those, too, yeah.
Fails to turn homework in on time.
Oh, yeah. Talks too much in class. Yeah, all right.
I never got that one.
All right, so we're getting close to the wrap-up here, so let's talk about where you guys are going to be this week.
Well, on AM 930 WEOL on the radio side, we've got the game of the week. Week 6 showdown, Amherst at Olmsted Falls. We've mentioned on WEOL, we talked to Mike Passarello, that at some point for Amherst to make a big step in the SWC, they're going to have to beat an upper echelon team, such as an Avon, such as an Avon Lake, such as an Olmsted Falls. Well, here's their opportunity this Friday. Amherst, Olmsted Falls. We've got it on AM 930, 5-0 against 4-1. What a huge ball game, not only as far as the SWC is concerned, Matt, but a lot of playoff points on the line as well.
Yeah, and Olmsted Falls, great team. They're 4-1 right now on the season, coming off just one loss that earlier in the season to Avon. Amherst is going to be testing this. We talk about their defense, how stingy they've been. Olmsted Falls under Tom DeLuca likes to run that triple option, and it gets very confusing. Fans of college football saw it this weekend. Oklahoma very nearly got beat by Army, who runs that triple option. So when you only have a week to prepare for it, it becomes very tough. Amherst is coming off a Berea Mid-Park team that plays a very different style football. So it's quick to get back to the drawing board and figure out how to attack that triple option. And Olmsted Falls is one of those teams that runs it very well. That should be exciting. Stream 2 this week, Tim. Elyria Catholic coming off some hard times. They've dropped their last 2 games. Last week, 31-13 to Valley Forge. They're ready to get back on the field, I'd imagine, try and get back in that win column. We're going to have that as they head to Parma, looking to get a victory.
Yeah, they need to get back on the winning side of things. They've had 2 tough games in a row. So we'll see if Cam English, their quarterback, and Leighton Banjoff and Griffin and the other players they have can find a way to get them back on that winning side of the ledger. It's been a tough couple of weeks for EC. So that's our Stream 2 game. Medina County matchup on Friday night will feature Greene and Highland. So Highland out of the Medina County area in our Stream 3 game. And then a team that really has struggled in the first half of the year, Elyria High. They're 0-5 as they enter Week 6. They've got a Saturday afternoon game. We'll have the game Saturday afternoon. Elyria with that long bus ride over to the east side as they take on Shaker Heights.
Yeah, this should be a good game. Elyria is interested in getting back in that win column. I know that loss to Euclid is something they'd rather just put behind them. Week before, they were able to put up 21 points in a tough-fought game as well. So I'm intrigued to see how Elyria bounces back. I mean, that's a young team looking for their first victory, Greater Cleveland Conference play. You know, anything can happen when you play against conference opponents. So this should be a fun one on Saturday.
No doubt. So we've got a very busy weekend ahead, Bruce.
All right, I'm going to hit you with an extra credit one before we wrap.
Extra credit?
It's
I
test
used to
time.
love extra credit. Love extra credit.
So we're at the midterm. We've had some teams who've maybe not had a great year, either through just having some bad games or playing some tough teams. Who's the team that's out there that maybe hasn't had a great start that could really turn things around in the second half?
Ooh, wow. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Pop quiz.
Yes. Who's going to turn it around, or who could turn it around in the second half? I'll tell you what. I'll go with Keystone. Did I steal your team?
Yeah, I was thinking about Keystone.
So you can tell this is totally non-scripted. I stole his team.
All right.
No, I like Don Griswold as a head coach. They came back, had a big win last week against Brooklyn after they really got throttled by the Columbia Raiders. So I think Keystone may have found something in Week 5. So they're only 1-4, but they could have a nice bounce-back second half. So I'll go with the Keystone Wildcats.
Yeah, I'll play off another number 1-4. North Ridgeville Rangers. We had the opportunity to see them against Midview this year. Heck, I think Midview, right now they're 0-5. They could be even a scary team as you continue down the road. But North Ridgeville has that pass attack they can use. I think they could surprise some teams. They typically play very well against some of the better teams out there, too, in the SWC. So I'll go with North Ridgeville. I think they're a team, and I think they're playing better football than they were a year ago when they ran off at the end of the season, winning 3 of 4. So I think North Ridgeville could turn some things around as they head into the second half.
That's a good pick.
All right.
I'll give you that one.
You guys get passing grades on this. You get your extra points, which pulls you up in the lower D levels. All right, school's out. Send us home, Tim Alcorn.
Well, I guess we'll have to give Bruce Bishop an apple. Put an apple on the desk of one Bruce Bishop. But thanks to Bruce Bishop behind the camera. Good to have him back for the Week 6 edition of The Blitz. Matt Douglas, thanks to you. Biggest thanks goes to you, the viewers. We hope you enjoyed it. And until next week on The Blitz, so long, everybody.